Okay, so I'm following the meeting order at 7:03. And just stated it, folks in the room plus Todd and myself, it's 6 members, so everybody can vote. I see a couple members of the public, and I assume we have Board of Ed representation in the room. Yes, let's see. Okay. Great.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we're here.
Okay. Is Suzanne there?
Yes.
I just want to welcome her as the first Board of Finance meeting since she came on as superintendent. So welcome, belated welcome to East Granby. Nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
You can sit
All
up.
right.
Yeah, camera.
Is there any public comment? All right. Hearing none, are there any additions to the agenda? Okay. All right, so the next order of business is acceptance of the June 17 and September 2nd meeting minutes. I'll do them in chronological order individually. Is there a motion for June?
So moved.
That second.
Okay, thanks. Are there any discussion about the June meeting minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, let's say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? So that carries unanimously. And then is there a motion for the September 2nd minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
You got a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that carries. Some communication and correspondence. Actually, I had a fair amount of communication and correspondence with Lisa regarding the digital budget book that I sent to folks last week, and as well as Kelly. Also on the monthly report format, I think we're going to see a take on that format tonight. So welcome your comments on that. And I think that was it in terms of, also, if you haven't gotten them, in our mailbox there is a hard copy of the most recent annual report. So you want to pick them up on the way out. But that's there. It's probably been there a while. All right. Is there any correspondence or communication anybody wants to disclose?
Did you receive anything from Park and Rec?
No.
Okay, I can talk to it later then, just about the capital plan.
Okay. All right. Okay, old business, just as, I don't know if Ian or Lisa, but just been a while since we met. Any update on where we are with installing pumps and anything with regard to that? Sewer pumps, that is.
Yeah, so pretty much the same update as last time, except our flows have gone down. They were actually at 50 gallons per minute, and now they're reading at 45 gallons per minute for the last couple of weeks, which is good news. I don't know if it's a correlation of the kids going back to school or not, but our attorney who's representing us is in contact with MDC to set up a meeting. We're trying to get some dates on the calendar for the beginning of October to start just talking about how we're going to look at our previous billing, our present billing, and our future billing. So things
Have you
are,
received any feedback from them or no?
Nope.
No, nothing?
no, but they're receiving the same SCADA data that we are, so they're aware of the readings.
So you're still tracking fairly consistent with usage or lower?
Yeah,
So the-
lower.
dramatically lower.
Then usage, then actual water usage?
No, then actual water usage, it's matching up.
That's
What we're
yeah.
billing the customers is matching up.
Right. So, okay, so it's continuing a trend of being in line with normal sewer usage.
Right.
So we got an issue.
Yes, we do.
Okay, good.
Now it sounds like we have a big improvement. All right, any questions about the sewer pumps bills? Okay, the next item is 7A, just a status on the FY25 audit. Kelly, I wonder if you could just share where that's at.
Sure, they are going to be wrapping up field work this week. It's going very smoothly. So we had them set up with full access to the accounting software, and that has proved to be very beneficial. And things are going smoothly on both Board of Ed and town side.
Thank you. Any questions for Kelly about where we're at with the audit? Okay. All right, so capital plans. I sent out a capital plan to members, and we also received in our materials, we received a refresh from the Board of Ed and from the general government. I'm just going to spend a second on the layout of the capital plan, just because it's been a while since we've all looked at it. But that first, the overview page, I just sort of front and center and right down the middle, there's two columns for 25, 26. So one has what the plan is, one has what the actual is going to be. So as the year goes on, if we approve anything, it'll show up there. And then we have the subsequent number of years. Right now, 30 to 31 is just a copy of 29 to 30, and I don't even know. I'm going to do some research on the 5-year plan, if it's current plus 5 or current plus 4. I think it's the latter. In that top section before the couple of green lines that go across, you're going to see some numbers in red. That's just I drew some negative numbers in there of things that items or dollar amounts I'm not sure we can afford. That's one person's view. This is a model. Well, as we go through this plan in the next month or two, before we finalize it, we'll get it all that. But there's a couple of big things on there. There's not that it's new, but the roof for 2.1 million. I don't see us being able to do that on capital, for example, but we still have to find a way. So that's what those red things mean. And I think they're correlated to something specific on the subsequent pages. And then that blue line going across is what I project the balance to be each year during the plan. And right below that in bold italic, just in black type, is what our policy says the balance should be. So we get there eventually, but we're not quite there just yet. So, and then below that is the revenue. The expenses are all in the other tabs, the Board of Ed General Government. So, why don't we start with the general government and just, bear with me, I don't know if I'm going to ask you to go through everything, or I guess I'll ask you to go through everything. I have some questions, I'm sure we'll get to, but we'll have to go through, like, particularly the current year and then maybe the next year.
Yep, so I did do an update since you got it and I'm handing it out now. I didn't realize you weren't going to be here. So basically the only changes I made were, it's right here. I thought I just gave it to you. Oh, I was trying to.
So it's just 2 pages, right?
No, and then I think it's,
Yeah, it's just 2 pages.
2 pages.
So the under land use, the 4 infrastructure planning grants, I thought we could cover that under LoCIT, but that's not, you can't do grants under that. I didn't realize. It has to be shovel-ready projects. So I took the blue off of that. That was color coordinated to possibly using LoCIT. And the only other change I made was under Park and Rec, the Reclaire Playscape at Granbrook. I had 50,000 in 27-28, and I moved that, so these guys have it, under 25-26, because I'm going to read an email from Park and Rec that I got last night. I did meet with them last week and recommended they send a request to you. They're not asking for the money right now, but why they wanted to move it sooner. We were hoping to maybe go for a grant, the Hartford Foundation grant. They're not releasing any monies now, but they may reopen in a couple of years. But this is sort of an immediate need that they need, because we did have Karma, our insurance company, came out and did an inspection on it. So I'll just read you what Park and Rec wanted on the record. Dear Chairman, Clerk, and Board of Finance members, the purpose of this letter is twofold. First, the Parks and Rec Commission would like to remove the capital funding request of $10,000, which I had already done, for the basketball hoops. Second, we would like to request the $50,000 allocated to fiscal year 27-28 to be moved to this current cycle under the title Granbrook Playscape Project. Due to safety and liability concerns, we have determined the Playscape at Granbrook should be a top priority. In May 2025, the Commission received an insurance assessment from Karma Risk Management. Karma explains their purpose for such an assessment is to create a safer playground environment for all children and contribute to the reduction of playground-related deaths and injuries. It is estimated that more than 200,000 public playground injuries require emergency room treatment in the U.S. annually. One of the most pressing concerns with the Granbrook Playscape is the sand used as the loose fill protective surfacing. It is severely compacted and has the lowest fall height of 4 feet compared to safety wood chips at 10 feet. The Commission and DPW have already taken action and removed most of the concerning components of the play area, the outdated balance beam and ride-on toy. Other recommendations from Karma include seemingly minor repairs that unfortunately require consistent maintenance due to the age of the structure. At this point in time, we propose removing the existing playscape. Our recommendation would be to replace it with low-height play structures and code-compliant loose-fill protective surfacing. We plan to maintain the existing swing set and are exploring protective surfacing for this area. The installation of new, smaller pieces of playground equipment is also a long-term goal. We are looking to move this project into 25-26 capital fund year. There are still several significant safety concerns, including the bridge structure and monkey bars, and these have no easy, quick solution. If the Board of Finance agrees to move the project to the current year, Parks and Rec will begin the process of researching and designing a new playscape area with the intention of installation in spring 2026 to avoid having the current structure in play for the summer 2026 season. Please let us know if there's any other information needed at this time and how we should proceed if capital funds are allocated, which I did explain to them how it would happen. And this is from Morgan Bengal, Commission Chair. Thank you for listening. So with that, pretty much everything else is the same. I met with each department head.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff's on mute.
Oh.
You can unmute him. He's just put up a sticky note saying
Oh.
I'm on mute.
Sorry, I don't know how that happened. I didn't do anything. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. I don't know if you need help unmuting if you mute yourselves, but
Yeah, I was off mute that.
okay.
I'll hit the mute button and it
Okay.
locked me down.
I think that's part of the security. So, did you want to say something?
No, at this point, I was just
Okay.
trying to get somebody to know.
So I've met with each department head, and this is where we're at. The police department.
What's the new,
Go ahead.
what's the new total for that first year?
It's high. It's 778, 500.
Plus the grand, plus the grand book.
I moved, that's included.
It's in. Oh, and the one you gave us, you're right, yeah.
The one I
look at-
gave you, yeah.
Look at the new one.
Yep.
778,500, so it's about 50,000 above what you anticipated.
So I have a few questions about
Yeah.
the playscape.
Yep.
Did insurance cite anything of, so you were talking about the bridge being at risk. Do we know if the insurance specifically cited that and that they gave backup documentation as to
They
why
have.
that is considered a risk?
Yes, I can get all
And
that.
have they talked about risk of dropping us if we don't get these remediated in X amount of time or?
I'm not aware of them
Okay,
threatening that.
okay.
So usually they will, at some point.
Yes.
You know, I've
And I'm
been
just
through
wondering
a
where
couple-
we are in that
Yeah.
process.
It's a case of not being able to know what we know now, though.
Or they just won't
Well-
renew you.
Right, but from a liability
Yeah, they
perspective,
didn't.
anyone can say anything is a
Right.
risk.
Right.
And then it may or may not be. What I'm saying is, if they've cited a study that shows that it's a risk versus the insurance company saying, we don't want to insure you because we believe it's a risk. Like a
They didn't tell us that.
right, like a trampoline is a
Right.
risk of injury, but some people still have it, and it's not something that's a long-term liability that their insurance is going to drop them for. That's what I was getting at.
Right,
Is,
yeah.
is there a risk at this
I
point?
had gotten word from that.
Okay.
So they just did a review and made suggestions.
Yes.
They are a new company.
What's that?
They are a new company. We've only been with them a year.
So can we look at, I feel like it would be cheaper and more advantageous cost-wise to look at other insurance that will insure that versus looking at replacing a playscape. Because one insurance company is telling us one thing, but other insurance companies haven't in that previous 10 years that I've been around. Somebody
I don't think
has-
it ever had a safety inspection, though. So,
Just wondering if there was any, Brandon's Farm, Old Farms Lane, just wondering if there were any reported incidents of injury or death in the playscape.
I don't know, that's a good question. Yeah, that's essentially what I'm getting at is if it's one company who's citing one study because they want to hedge their risk, just coming from an insurance background, that's,
I think we need to get that clarified, Joe.
Yeah,
Right,
100%.
the actual wording of the assessment, you know what I mean? Because every time I've been through an insurance audit, it's not like, it's not suggestions, it's like, you should do this, or there's some other way, but maybe they do, or maybe they do, yeah, I don't know.
I think with Public Works doing what they did, took care of the.
Mitigated, yeah. Anyway, it sounds like there's a need there, and we got to decide when we want to do it, right? Anyway, so.
I have one question.
Yeah, and I think we get some more info by the time it just comes up for an extra request.
Yep.
Besides
Paul has his hand up, Joe.
besides for grant you mentioned, have they explored other avenues for grants through other organizations to offset some of the cost?
I believe they did. Yep.
Do we have any information on that? or-
I believe they didn't find anything, so, yeah.
I think they need to, when they come for the actual capital request, they're going to need to bring all that.
Yeah,
So it's
they'll-
whether or not we're putting it in the budget at this point, saying, is it something we would consider?
And how old is the playscape?
Sure.
At least 17 years, or 22 years old, my son's 22.
So,
Yeah.
aside from the insurance, it may just be time to get a new one anyways.
I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
22 years useful life for an expensive playscape, because they're not cheap, as we know from the one we put up at East Granby Farms. It should be getting more than a 20-year useful life.
That one was in pretty good shape. It was the one
It wasn't made out
at
of.
Granby Farms that was,
That's what I'm saying, is Grand Brook seems to be in good shape, and I don't know if it's past its useful life. It shouldn't be if it's only 20 years old, but if it's 35 or 40, then,
Morgan can speak better to the
yep.
base, to.
that's the issue, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't cost effective to dig it all out, and it was a big chore, so.
I have a quick question if we're ready to move on from the playscape. I think it might be for Kelly. Can we get an update on the police fund and where we're at with that?
Yes, I can send that to you. I don't have that on me, but I can send that out tomorrow.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I was just thinking as I'm going down the lines here, if we could start, one of the things I thought we were gonna get into by creating that fund was some of this capital for the police department, pay for it that way. So if we can get this SUV or at least the taser replacements out for this year,
I know.
moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I did talk to Kyle about the police funds. I think it has about 40 something thousand in it, I want to say. The last that we talked about it,
I'll send that.
I think it was a matter of not wanting to take it all out now and creating some kind of a buffer. I know it can, I think there's 100, forgetting what the max is.
100 max.
100 max.
Okay.
So they wanted to be able to just like pay for a cruiser, but we're not quite there yet. But
Taser's $45,000.
for all officers.
Oh, for all
Yeah.
the officers, okay.
Yeah. I should say tasers replacement.
Tasers, yeah.
Taser
10
replacement.
officers? Or how many?
8.
8.
Yeah. Nothing's chased.
And would we be,
Ethan, I have a question. We got, I'm sorry, did I cut somebody off there?
go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jeff Hecht was going to say something, but
Go ahead, Jeff, because I'm going to change it to the other part of the
Okay.
report too.
I was just going to ask about the cruiser allocation because as I recall, we replaced a cruiser last year and it looks like this is an every other year thing. Is there a cruiser that's in need of replacement at
Yes.
this time?
there are some that are just, but this should be good. I mean, hopefully after this year and then there's nothing next year and then the following year. And he said, hopefully this fund will be able to
Carry
serve
after
its
that.
purpose.
Yep.
Jeff, how much should we put into the capital fund for this year?
We put a low amount this year because it was underspent last year, so we put in
350.
350 instead of 550. Just
So
kind of a low amount.
where are we proposing are we going to send this back to the boards and ask them to narrow this down to fit it? Or what were you thinking? Because we did that.
Well, yeah, first of all, I think our timing for when we want to approve this is November.
Yeah.
So this meeting is to kind of understand what some of these requests are. And then we're going to have to,
Yeah, not to cut you off. The only reason I ask is in the past, what we would do is request them to tell us what the priorities were. And then we would put unfunded on a separate line item and figure out where we would get the money from that, but
Well, just for perspective.
Yeah.
My original total was like 2.6 million. So.
well,
moved
I have
things
no
around.
question
Yeah.
about the needs. There's not, I'm just,
So these were the priorities, but
right. So I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to approach this from the boards,
yep.
yeah, I think we asked for priorities for next meeting. And then we deliberate on that, and then if we can finalize it next meeting, great. If not, we split it into,
Yeah, like Public Works, the street sweeper, we used to be able to go to municipal grants and aids, but they're not allowing it anymore. And this one, the housing where you sit in it has to be enclosed and it has to be air conditioned per OSHA compliance.
do we not have one now?
Yeah, that was inspected and it's not enclosed and it doesn't have air conditioning.
So it's an immediate requirement to get it up to OSHA standard? You can't grandfather the old guy in until...
Not according to Ed.
Okay. I mean, at some point you got to replace it anyway, so it's not like when
It's not like the rest of it's brand new and it's just it's aged. So.
Is that brand new? The $260,000 street sweeper?
I don't know.
It just, okay.
We try to, he tries to look for good deals and even.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's new.
Have we explored rentals, like
I was just
Sunbelt?
about to ask the same
Yeah.
thing. Just for the short term to limp us through for
Yeah.
a year or two.
That's a lot of rentals.
Where do we use them and
How much?
how often?
how much use does the street sweeper get?
Yeah.
Is it
So,
is it a candidate for sharing with another town?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I'll just ask that. I'll ask.
Okay.
Then you don't have to maintain it either. You just rent, they drop it off.
Is it usually like in the fall and the springtime we do like cleaning and then it just sits in the parking lot for most of the time, so.
Yeah, it's Good
So
question.
is that, near the top, there's a bunch, the first four items are in blue. So it's about 150, 160,000, something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard me say that I had to take that marker off because they cannot go through LoSiP.
So the grants aren't going to apply
Correct.
to those.
Yeah, they have to be shovel-ready projects to use LoSiP. So you can't use it for. So the construction plans to implement grants for the sidewalks, those sidewalks were to go to the high school. And then everything else is pretty clear. The Gateway Boulevard is it's a to be determined one, but Robin asked for it to be in there.
Okay. So, yeah, I think we're going to need prioritization. I think we're, you can see the front page, we're pretty far over where we said we wanted to be with regard to policy. So, definitely going to need to know what your priorities are. Okay. How about for the next year, anything big that we need to talk about for the year two? Big, there's the Morton building, that whole $325,000. What is the Morton building?
It's basically it's a storage unit. It's like are they metal framed
It's like
buildings?
a prefab building, Jeff. You
Yeah.
bring it in, just put it up. They're just,
It's
a garage.
Okay. So it's not a building we have today, it's a building we would buy.
Right. And it's basically to protect equipment
where would they put it?
for longevity,
Is there space over there?
public works.
Oh, okay.
But it would be to house fire apparatus and cruisers and senior bus.
So they want to bring all of the town apparatus inside, basically.
The public safety complex under fire, that came from, that's to be determined. I mean, these might be bonding situations down the road. Some of the TBVs.
All the TVDs are touching current impact, and well, there's only one there, but even in the alley there, there's
Yeah.
not that anymore.
And the townwide siren, which is something, I mean, Kenny, our emergency management and fire marshal, would come here to talk to you about it. He can come to the October or November meeting.
Do other towns have that? Or
Yeah, yes.
They do?
We had one at one point, but I think it's,
I would think you could somehow, you can't use the fire department sirens, or just a completely different,
it's like a loudspeaker. I don't know.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a loudspeaker throughout the town.
Like a tornado warning thing?
We had a siren at one point. It hasn't been used since probably a decade.
You mean at the fire department?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time a call went out, I mean, I'm sure you could still hear Simsbury's and Bloomfields, but ours doesn't.
I haven't heard it.
Ours doesn't trip off when we get toned out anymore.
We were discussing Everbridge. It's a phone system where I think the school uses it maybe for like their all-call, or schools do use it. We have it, we just haven't used it. So I mean, it's like we used it when there was a Amber Alert, a child was missing.
Like the statewide warning system you get when there's like something big?
Yeah, it's an all-call to every resident, but
The town of Summers has it. It works
Yeah.
great.
I think East Windsor has it too. But that being said, it's not an emergency siren. So Kenny can speak to the importance of it. But that, I have 500,000 on the plan, but he thinks it could possibly be more, so I don't know if that's a bonding item also.
And the housing at the school, that,
Yes,
that's about displaced people, or?
yes, but it would be showers. I'm trying to find it on my list. I got shower facilities at the high school and the 2 generators. For emergency housing.
Is there are you aware, is there a mandate or something that drives like how that facility has to be envisioned? You know, like why we need 2 showers or 2 generators, not 3, or how many showers and
I think
all that? Or
I think it's based on like population maybe. I don't know. He was going to come and talk about it. I don't know all the details.
Okay.
The EOC Smart Board is something the fire department has now, and we could actually, like this, the one we have in town hall is obsolete too, so it would be town hall use and emergency operations use.
Okay. Any other questions for you?
Regarding the senior service minivan, is that to replace the current bus, or would it be an ADA compliant van, or are we looking for another minibus?
It would be to replace our current minibus.
With
It's for
something
useful
similar?
life.
Yeah, okay. That's what, I was just looking at the price and
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it might not be that by the time we get out to those years, but
We do
The
try to
place that
find
is,
some, we do try to buy used if we
Yeah.
can.
yeah, if we can. They don't have an amazing useful life.
I know.
So it's hard to buy them used. I mean, we killed the last one so bad that we couldn't even use it as like a backup.
Yep.
It was, the lift didn't work. It had gone way past, and so I don't want that to happen again. I want it to be similar to like the police and fire where they have it on the plan and it does get replaced properly.
And I know it gets used, so.
It gets a lot of use.
Yeah, actually, Joe, I'm glad you asked that. Am I reading that right? Tables and chairs, the 100,000 and van 50 is either should it be swapped or table and chairs 10,000 or something? How do you tell me?
The table and chair was like a
guess.
literal a shot in the dark. It was more about putting it on the plan more than anything. I didn't even take the time at this point to look because things changed so dramatically. So it's more of a placeholder than a real specific number from quotes and things like that. But the van definitely will probably be more than 50,000. That was probably what we
You're
had
talking
on
about
there
the
for
van
that.
with like the lift in it and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more.
I think when we bought the one in 2019 or 2020, no, we bought it in 19 and we received it in 2020, I think. It was like 75,000.
And it was brand new?
Brand new, 75,000.
Yeah, so that sounds probably 100 now.
Yeah, so I'll just leave 100 on there. Okay. So it sounds like we need priorities for next time. I understand the police fund in terms of in that offset side of either the taser or SUV. Okay. Anything else anybody has for the general government? Okay. Why don't we switch over to board ed?
Jeff, you there? I guess he all hears me.
Yeah, I can.
Hi, Jeff.
Yeah.
Did the Board of Finance members get copies, hard copies, or did you get a digital copy of our 5-year plan?
Yeah.
You like a hard copy?
All set.
You're all set?
Thank you.
Public, would you like a copy of our 5-year plan?
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's a lot of money, and everybody can see what it is. First of all, Jeff, thank you for recognizing Board of Education as a new superintendent. Jeff mentioned her at the beginning. I'd like to introduce Suzanne Palmieri as our new superintendent for East Granby. She hasn't been here 5 weeks, but she's knee-deep in the 5-year plan, I'll tell you. And that's what we're presenting tonight. There's a few tweaks to it, a few little changes, and she'll present those to you and make some comments along the way. Okay, Suzanne, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Can Jeff hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. I just want to follow along with that.
Yeah, it's in the,
Send it? It's in the
yeah, Board of Capital.
So to begin, what we're going, so I have a bulleted list here of changes that I'm going to initiate. Thank you. And you'll see that in the column, we have separated and chunked out the areas, technology and then district, multi-school. And so how I'm going to be doing this so that you can follow along is I'm going to read out the changes that are in each chunks and you can find that across. And then I can pause at any time or we can just ask questions at the end, however we want to do that. So starting off in technology, starting off actually we had deleted the 24-25 column because we are no longer in 24-25. For technology, we added $6,000 for a Dell server for All Grove for 26-27. We deleted security camera server software row because it was at 0. We moved $28,000 from Arrowhive Wi-Fi maintenance and repairs from 26-27 and added it to the $10,000 in 25-26. So that totals $38,000. We added $11,844 for the placement of Microsoft Adobe iPads with cases for 28-29. We increased $10,900 to $11,844 for scaled replacement of iPads K1 and cases for 27 and 28 and 28 and 29, and added $11,844 for 29-30. And the last change in that section is we added $20,000 for a network switch for Seymour School for 26-27 that year. Moving to the multi-school section, we deleted security camera row, it was 0. We deleted $20,000 to refinish the high school gym floors and stage for 25-26. And we increased $75,000 to $80,000 to refinish the high school gym floors and stage for 27-28. Moving to high school, we moved $15,000 for new stage curtain from 26-27 to 25-26. We moved the $2,100,000 for roof over the 2001 edition at our high school from 26-27 to 25-26. And we deleted the knee wall with power library row because it was at 0. Moving to middle school, we moved $25,000 to build a wall multi-purpose room from 24-25 to 25-26. For Seymour, next section, we deleted the gym air conditioning row, it was at 0. We moved $21,000 for flashing school zone sign from 24-25 to 25-26. We added $475,000 for HVAC at Seymour for 27-28. And our last shift was for All Grove, where we moved $20,000 for a sound system upgrade from the 25-26 year to the 26-27 year. Those are our changes.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Suzanne?
Well, just because the years are blending together here, did the 2,100,000, that tracks with the bonding eligibility for that, I'm assuming?
Yeah, originally, I think it was on for last year, and then we bumped it down a couple years, so at that point, it was eligible, so it is.
Actually, not bonding, the state reimbursement.
State reimbursement.
That was the problem why we
That
couldn't
was
do
the
it last
problem why
time.
we
yeah.
couldn't do it before, exactly.
But we are in the window at this
We're still in
point.
that window.
Okay.
I think a couple of years ago, not I think, we did a couple of things to be able to push this
Yeah.
down the road, but we're getting a number of leaks there. It's a problem, and we've been able to kick it down and fix it, but it doesn't need to be replaced. I'd also like to comment, you may see for the first time the HVAC for Seymour School. Now that we look at Seymour School, it's not a new renovation anymore. It's over 20 years, and the HVAC system now is up for an overhaul. So that was new for us to find that out. So we added that in. The only other comment I'd like to make is the tennis courts. You see, a few years ago, we started putting it into our 5-year plan. We've used some of our non-lapsing funds in order to maintain the tennis courts. The tennis courts now are at a state where the repair company won't repair them and warranty them. That's beyond right now just being fixed. The tennis courts are now like 25 years old from when they did the renovation. It's not the new gym anymore. It's not the new tennis courts. They're over 25 years old. Our concern is, I walked the tennis courts a couple days ago. I don't know if we're going to be able to use them next spring. I mean, the repairs that we've done recently, you can see every repair, you can see the cracks reappearing. And our concern is come winter time, when you get frost water and frost heaves constantly happening out there with snow melt and ice melt, that they may be unplayable come the spring, because again, they don't want 15,000 to fix it because they feel they can't fix it. So they're really at a position now where they're going to need to be replaced, and it's something we brought to the attention before to the Board of Finance. This was an issue with us, and now it seems to be we're repairing it. It's not a fix. So that's something that's new that we all have to take a look at.
What would be the cost to repair it?
Or replace it.
Or replace
Over
it?
$500,000
Yeah.
by a couple $100,000, unfortunately. They've gone up a lot. The option was there to do that when they did the renovation, but it was cheaper to do it this way. And now, it's the base is the problem. They redid tennis courts over an old base, and if you go up there, you can see there's lots of oak trees, and some are cut down, but the roots have caused the damage underneath.
Is that cement or asphalt?
It's like,
It's asphalt.
it's asphalt, which isn't,
And it's $500,000?
Well,
well, it's
because of
not,
the base you'd have to put in for a tennis court.
yeah, the asphalt's not appropriate for a tennis court.
Now, one question I was going to ask, and maybe Eden, I noticed when we were at the Duck Derby last week, there is a tennis court down at Granby, but there are no nets for it. I didn't see any nets or posts.
I know they don't use it.
There used to be 6. Do you remember
There
that?
used to be 6 that no one wants to talk about.
Must
Know
have
where
been
they
a
are.
popular time for
Know where they are.
I think they're still there.
They're still
They
there,
tear 'em up.
about 6 feet of sand and debris from
Yeah.
floods, yeah. But that was a long time ago at Grant.
But that would involve you busting the kids over there every day to play tennis.
Yeah. But it's something that I think, I know the tennis courts are used by the community all year long. I see people there. The school system uses them for an 8-week tennis season, and in those 8-week tennis season, they'll also do tennis for phys ed classes. So it's not a dire need for the school, but it's certainly, I think every community wants to have tennis courts that are usable. And right now, they are the only tennis courts in town.
Yeah, but we got a bond for the roof.
Yeah.
What do you say?
We mentioned that, right? We got a bond for the roof over the addition.
Yep.
I could see us throwing tennis courts, I could see us throwing the HVAC. I can see us, if it's the will of everybody, throwing the townwide siren, I mean, if we're gonna bond, we might as well go big.
I mean, we do have the steep grant for the pickleball and basketball, so maybe that's an option too.
Maybe, yeah, we're hoping to keep repairing, but they're just
Yeah.
beyond repairing now.
I'll
That's a good idea, Jeff, you're right, when you come to bonding, you want to do it.
Well, especially things of that much money. It's just not planned, you know?
Would they move the tennis courts at the same time? Because I know there's also issues with, as you were saying, the roots coming in, but there's other issues with poison ivy vines growing on there and everything else. And I know that,
Well, that would be up to a building committee, I'd imagine, where they want to
Yeah.
put them
Yeah,
there
you-
or somewhere else. I don't know if the board
Definitely
then
get rid
wants
of
to
the
get
trees.
involved with that. But that's a good question. Because you are going to have to go to the base, Jeff, and start from scratch. You're right.
yeah, so point being is that should all be part of the evaluation, because I know that there's more concerns with just,
So I got a quick question about the HVAC. What do they propose, what is the issue there, Bob? Is it, because we just did the high school, and I was on the building committee, and very involved with how they ended up doing that.
It was a surprise, yeah, Missy brought to our attention. I think it's probably because it's been over 20 years. I think there's a 20-year threshold where they have to be looked at.
Did anybody flag something, or you're just
No.
you're putting it on the radar to make sure we're
It
aware?
was put on the radar for us. I don't know whether Ray told Missy, but that was up, but she got some
Okay,
information.
so,
They went in the summer and did some work, and it came out that they had to do more work, so we paid for that, and they said, we got to be careful, because it's going to continue on.
So, yeah.
They did come in over the summer, and it was worse than they thought, yeah.
And you know, we did a big project for HVAC at the high school, middle school, of up to 800,000 with a big grant from the state that we finished this summer as well.
They did it, well, we can talk about that some other time, but they found out some creative ways to fix it. But what occurred to me was like what was done at Algrove with the ductless split systems. It seemed to be working very well. And at first I was a little suspicious of that whole setup, but technology's come a long way. That might be less expensive than something like this, and I don't know, but it's something to probably look at.
No, those mini splits, you're right, they're showing up everywhere.
And did we lose 2 last year? And it was like $25,000 to fix. It wasn't a huge number, so you just replace them and you move on.
But their lifespan's not 100 years. Their lifespan is 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, there's a trade-off, right, yeah.
but the Seymour heating system, you said, is only at 20 years, so is it that much of a difference at that point?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. It's certainly worth considering because they can put those things in easily and they put them in lots of places and they're quite efficient as well.
And you can make decisions to replace one at a time, and if one room is
One at a time is better than $100,000, $1 million.
500, yeah, $500,000 whack.
Yep. So those things we wanted to bring to your attention. And again, last year we did use, some of our overlap money to take some things that we see in capital and use some of our money to pay for those ourselves. So we try to do that whenever we can. I think the one focus you're going to see the school board and the new superintendent in the next year is we need to have more offerings at the high school. Our high school is a comprehensive high school. We need to bring in more technology opportunities so kids can go beyond the horizon of the door of the classroom. So that's going to be a goal of ours to, add more to the high school. We're losing kids to other schools because of other opportunities. And we need to keep up with what's going on.
And you're looking
Good
at,
job of it.
you're looking at that from a BOE perspective and coming up with a comprehensive plan to deal with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Good to hear.
Bob, could you repeat what that, I'm just having a hard time hearing you, but that last issue that you were just bringing up?
Which issue?
He didn't hear what you said about the
Kids to the-
technology.
Oh, losing the kids, yeah. Yeah, we're losing kids to other schools, and I believe that kids go to Suffield BOAG more than just for BOAG. I mean, I've seen that in my career. They used to go there for football. Then we got a football co-op and stopped that, but they're going there, their programs, it's easy to go in there, and when you take BOAG, you're not turning me into a farmer. There's great technology classes that are being offered, and they are the electives. So the kids are going there, and they're only taking your electives in BOAG, so it's not like they're going there and taking a lot, and they're going there and there's a lot. They then get involved with high school and there are a lot of opportunities. So we need to look at those, and we need to be able to have kids want to come to school in East Granby. That's going to be a focus of ours, make East Granby a place where kids want to go to. Suzanne? No, it's not money.
Just go ahead, no?
Are you looking at athletics too?
Athletic, yeah, you look at colleges, why kids go to colleges, they go to school, athletics counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kids, that's a factor. That's why we did the football co-op years ago. We stopped a lot of kids from leaving because they were leaving just for that.
Right.
Kids and parents, and I don't blame them, are going to do what they have to do for the best opportunities for the kids, and we need to be cognizant of that. And I think East Granby over the years has done a very good job of it. But today, with technology and everything, we've got to keep moving. We can't look at the past, we have to look to the future.
My sister-in-law runs the ag science program.
What's that?
And my sister-in-law runs the agri-science program in Suffield.
Yeah, it's an awesome program.
And they've had the highest, I think they have 170 kids there from the towns that are involved in it. It's the high, they had to turn kids away, which they never do. But I mean, they do have a selected process.
Do they really? You
Yeah.
can't just get in?
No, so there has to be a seriousness, but you're right, my daughter went through it. So, I mean, there are opportunities. I mean, she ended up, she's in a field where it worked for her, but there's probably a reason why she's getting a high number of applications, because people are catching on.
Jeff, as you think on that, just a reminder, on April 27th, the 7.2 million bond is paid off. It's 513,000.
That's the.
Yeah, I have that on next year for some reason, but it's,
Yeah, April
Just for
1st,
sure.
27th is according to the depreciation schedule, the last payment for it.
Well, it's come up on the building,
Okay.
it's come up on the building committee, Jeff, and I know they aligned. That's why I asked about when we qualified for state reimbursement, because I knew there was a correlation between the two. So, yeah, the timing is.
okay. All right, yeah, for some reason I was showing that 513 out in 26, 27.
Yeah, April
That's
1st,
good news.
27th.
April 1st of when?
27.
Oh, yes, that's, all right, that's good. That's a year from April.
Yes.
Okay.
But even if you do a band to cover it in the interim, if you go under,
The only thing that's not as good as the interest rates, Celeste.
I know.
We're like 1% or something like that.
Yeah, Wyndham just got a short-term ban today for 2.47% for 1 year.
Well, that'd be the reason you do a ban, right? Just to kind of hopefully.
So year to year is good for school funding projects.
All right, any other questions for Board of Ed? All right, thank you. I think that the only takeaway would be I'll prioritize the first 2 years for next time, and then we have some more work to do on bonding. Okay. All right, the next item is the digital budget book. I guess I'll just start with, you may recall last spring, we had a discussion about, I want to call it clear.gov, and it's just got me thinking of getting into stadiums and airports and stuff, but it's clear something, but it was that ability to put the budget out in front, out on the website, and it would, be something that would give that transparency to the public. So Lisa's been working on that over the summer, and during the last few weeks, I started looking at copies of it and just trying to, looking to align it to our 5-year model that we have, and looking to align it to the materials that have gone out to the public for budget time, like at the public hearing and at the town meetings and stuff. And some discrepancies, mostly things like I didn't have pre-audit numbers, they did, they had more updated information, a couple of gap versus cash type items, but I wanted Lisa to have a chance to talk about it, and I think where we would be heading is, certainly not tonight, but I think we'd be heading towards kind of saying, yeah, this looks good, let's get it out there. So with that, I'll turn it over to Lisa.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. So thank you guys all. You did approve the move forward with the ClearGov software, and it's an online database, so the public is more interactive with the budget. Actually, do you mind if I share my screen? Am I set up to do that? I won't go into depth with it. I believe you guys all received a link to what it looked like. And it's a base model right now. Anyone's welcome to look at it. And what it does, it encumbers all revenues, all department expenses, and it makes it interactive for the public. I do want to take a step back and thank Jeff and I spent many hours together working on this, and then we brought in Kelly, who's been fantastic. And the reason is the numbers come straight from the accounting software. It's downloaded right into it. But there's a difference between budgeting versus GAAP, and then they had the change in the old accounting software to the new accounting software, so there's a change in how the encumbrances are done. Moving forward, we're going to be all set because the new software incorporates it to the budget-based accounting. So we actually had some fantastic conversations, and it was just a good team environment, so that made it really nice. But I wanted to show it. It does have a lot of information, and I need to know if you guys think it's too much information, if we want it to look different. So we created the base model. Let's see if it comes up. So this is what it would look like. We've got the introduction, basis of budgeting, the demographics, organizational structure, executive summary, the fund summary, like the general fund overview. It breaks down the revenues. You have clear graphs of what everything is. You've got the trend analysis of 24 actual, 24 budget, 25 actual, 25 budget, and 26 budget. Capital fund, I just put the copies of what's been presented to the budget right now. But, there's a lot of room to grow. The financial policies are in there, and those are actually broken out. You can choose which one it is. Excuse me. Jeff originally thought we should just put a link in, but I'm like, a budget book is a place and time. It's based upon when it's adopted. So it would be a historical history of all the financial policies of when the actual budget book was produced, because they do change over time. So we do have that, but this is what I think most people liked. When I presented last year, the departmental summary, it's hard for me to, am I still sharing? Look on the screen. It just dropped off my screen. And I wanted to get to the right page if I can. The departmental summary has it in alphabetical order. In addition, there is a table of contents to go to things, whether you're looking online or not. And I'll just give you an overview of what a department looks like. Assessor is up here. So you have the pretty pictures, but it gives you an idea of the historical expenditures. They call it by object. Salaries and benefits are always the biggest one for most departments here. And then down below, you've got your chart of the actual numbers. So it shows a trend analysis in addition to actual numbers. Once again, you've got the budget and then also previous 2 years' budget and actuals. And then we've used this base to do next year's budget. And so it's constantly going to build off each other. So this is just a structure that would be interactive for the public to use. I mean, I don't know how much you want me to go into it. We can add a lot if it's too much, if it's too little. My idea is we're not hiding anything, so I don't mind showing the information, but it's whatever we feel comfortable as a group.
I think you've done a really nice job. It's clearly an awful lot of work, so compliments on what you've done. And, there is a lot of information there, but the public has asked for information, so here it is. And I think you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Compliments.
So how hard is this to refresh year after year now that it's established and set up? Is there
Much simpler.
much simpler? Okay.
I can't tell you how many hours in the last 2 months because the training sessions are not one-on-one. You have to watch videos. So then you have to watch all the videos, do it yourself, and then if you have questions, you have to submit a ticket in. So it is a little bit lengthy process. The importing the data was fairly easy. We had someone help us with that, and that was good. But once we decide what we want to show, so to speak, in the format, like this one is missing a strategic plan. I want to have a strategic plan incorporated in that. A letter from Jeff or from the Board of Finance, I think, is important to have there. So there's other things that are there. Eden has her letter in, I've got my letter in, but I think it's better to have an all-encumbrance thing.
Do we have the ability to get analytics on this? What pages people are visiting more frequently than others? how many people are actually clicking through, because I think that would be really good insights for us, so we can see where are people spending their time and what can we address better to the public as a board.
Even to stagger the data within 165 pages.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that request, but that doesn't mean it's not there.
Okay.
I'll submit a ticket.
So I have a question.
Great idea.
So what is the ability of somebody, say you quit tomorrow? I'm just, or next month. What's the ability of somebody to pick this up and run with it?
Easy.
Oh, that's, I mean, you
ClearGov
kind of
is,
have to.
ClearGov is actually becoming more and more well-known.
That wasn't a
throughout the
loaded
state.
question. I just,
Oh, I know.
I own a business. You always have to wear a
You
what
always
that
do.
person's
I
not
can be
there.
a bus tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can be on the drive home. Christy has admin rights, Kelly has admin rights, Eden has admin rights, and so does Jeff.
But the actual usage of the software is kind of universal?
Yeah, most finance directors are learning how to use it if they
Oh,
don't know
good.
how to do
Okay.
it already.
Yeah.
Simsbury went to ClearGov last month. I think ours is better already, but that's just my personal
That's
opinion.
because you said it.
Haddam, Tolland has by far the best digital budget book I've ever seen.
Do they?
Trying to copy that, yeah. And so there's room for growth there as well. In addition, I want to focus more on the personnel factor. Like, we don't keep track of full-time FTEs, full-time equivalent employees. I'd rather have a standard tracking of that. And so this eventually will progress us
Yeah.
each step of the way a little bit further.
It looks like it's a great collection of all the information. And I think that's critical to have it all in one place. So even if it's a little clunky at first, and I don't know how adept you are already yet, but it's still, you're getting it all in one place that's accessible. That's great.
Right, one spot, and we can tweak it as we see fit, as we go through, like, I don't know if we need this page, or what about we add this page, and I can give every Board of Finance member and editor access to review it and look at it, and you can make comments right in the software if you want to, but I don't know how in-depth we want to go.
And is there an archive ability for the data? So if we save up, looks like 3 years, and next year we add another year, do we save 2024 data?
I
Where
lock
they can
this
go back.
up. Once I get approval that we kind of like this, I lock this up and no changes can be made to it. It's only in like view access formally. And then I set up the new budget book. In addition, there's like a forecasting model that I want to use.
So this is going to be
That'll be locked in
archived.
time.
Okay, perfect.
Locked in time. That's why I'm saying even with the financial policies, we can update it, and then once we log every single year, it'll be locked in time.
Makes sense.
That's good, because it's really nice. I have to go back, like, to old treasurer's reports from 10 years, because you get these questions in your head. You might as well keep it as an archive. That way people can say, hey, what were we doing then?
Right, and we even we met with Kelly and got all the old treasurer's reports, and we're looking back to make sure that the numbers line up and how we want them to look, so,
Yeah.
follow that thought completely.
Is there a section for public to add their comments or be able to send comments?
It's not set up that way.
Okay.
It's more for like admin rights if we want, but I mean, I'm sure we can set up something on the regular website or just an input
Right,
or
later.
email for public comments.
Contact page or something.
Yeah, like a contact.
Yeah, maybe.
But it has revenues on there. Go ahead, Jeff, I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you scroll up to the top of this section of the general fund overview?
This
I
section?
just wanted to,
Sure.
this one you're in here, yeah, right here.
Okay.
So, the page that's being shown now, like if you look at the FY26 budgeted, that's our budget, right? Those numbers are somewhere in our financial model, right? In the FY25 actual, those numbers are in there. The refreshed one I sent you guys the other day with the audit results. So, backward-looking perspective, this kind of takes those columns. I would still envision that we do a financial model that's forward-looking, because that's really the only place where we can play around with, well, what if we do this tax rate next year or the year after, whatever. So I still see us doing that, but this becomes kind of our archive of what our revenues were and everything. You'll see that a lot. The names are a little different, but it's the same thing that we have on our financial model.
That was my question when I first came, Jeff. She asked she was kind of quizzing everybody what they thought of it, looked at it. And it was, as long as you maintain the simplistic view at some level.
Yeah.
Because all the charts and all that stuff are great, but you don't want to lose the basic information, because that's, you got to refer to it quickly. And anyway.
Right, and really for our sign off, like for me to sign off on it, I'm looking at that page, you know. The
Yeah,
rest of
right,
it
right.
is great, but I can't, you know, I can't have expertise, I don't have expertise in that, so.
Yeah, so this matches the funds, and then down below is the revenues, and below that is the expenditures in alphabetical order. Because remember when we had the presentation at the public hearing the last time, someone said, what's the order? So that's a great question. It was done by, you know, departmental number in the CSA software that really doesn't make any difference to the public. So at least here you can see each category, you know, administrative, ambulance, the actuals, the budgets, and it puts it in alphabetical order for them.
You're right, it's more like an old school phone book. You have
Oh,
to
it's
guess
crazy.
What do they call pizza? At times.
And it was like, it followed the departmental number, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense from the regular
that's good.
standpoint.
And can you show the capital fund again?
Yeah, the capital fund, we can work on that, because it'll end up matching, we've got to match it to this idea. Right now, we just put yours in.
Yeah, so we have, and if you're familiar with this view, right, this is our planning view, and it's right, you know, like in October, November, and then it changes. Kelly has a different view of the cap fund that we see in the treasurer's report every month, that we have all the open accounts. So we haven't really come to conclusion on, you know, what to show.
And that's this.
Right, so we're showing both, right?
And that's
But-
this.
And that may be what we do, but there may be a way to do something more akin to what's there for the general fund as well.
It'll always be a work in progress, because there's always more that we can add.
Yeah.
It's just
I
that,
think one of the things that was driving me was I wanted to be sure that if somebody from the public is looking at this, we can tie them back to something we said at budget time. Like, this is the same number we gave you at budget time. So, because to the extent we don't have that, it creates a little bit of uncertainty, and that's what we don't want. Okay.
yeah, the general government overview, that fund summary page, it now matches to the penny to the treasurer's report. That's what we want. And
All
then,
right, Ian? All right.
and then the debt service, it has the amortization schedule for each project. So that's where I got the numbers for today earlier. So thank you for allowing me to present this, Jeff.
Any other questions or comments for Lisa? All right. Thank you. Next item. First draft of the 2026 meeting calendar. Let's see, I think that this, Eden, did you get a copy of this, and Lisa, and then Bob and Susanna, do you have a copy of this and what I sent out?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, was it in yours?
It was in your zip.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, there's a couple things, so many of the dates on there I've already worked with Nicole and we're in agreement on, so I'll say from June 16th down to January 27th, those look good, and they're consistent with, you know, the third Tuesday. And you can see the agenda items, I just stick them in there. And then January 20th is good, and March 17th is good, except I realize that's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So a couple things. So February 24th, so that's, that is not the third Tuesday, I don't think. Could be. It's the fourth Tuesday. I believe the 17th is, I think schools are out the 16th and 17th.
Correct.
We typically don't meet on a school holiday. So right now I have the 24th. I don't know that date is available, however, because it is kind of a, it's just kind of like a house of cards, you know, somebody else has the fourth Tuesday every month, so, that's one that I'm attributing. I don't know when it's gonna be. Could be the 24th, it could be the 17th, it could be some other day. And then we have the typical, we get into April. So the 21st is the third Tuesday, the 7th is the first Tuesday. So I don't have, the 21st we could meet, but actually it depends on knowing when the town meeting wants to be. And Ian, I haven't talked to you about this, but I don't think that's set up yet, but I know Nicole's been working with him, at least talking to Christine to try to find out when that's gonna be. But those meetings, like, so whenever the public hearing wants to be, whenever the town meeting wants to be, and then, you know, we'll work from there. So those dates are in flux right now.
Yep.
And the only really carryover note I had to myself from last year was, you know, it seems like every year something like this comes up, but we were really tight between the hearing and the town meeting. It looks like we have changed 2 or 3 business days. And when we have a couple weekends in there, it's even better. So I'll confirm all that. But
Okay.
any questions or comments on what we see so far? Okay. All right, then I'll work with Nicole and hopefully, you know, it'd be nice to finalize this next month. We don't have to, but it'd be nice to.
Yep.
All right. Monthly reports. All right. I think financial reports we got from the board then, right?
No, you have them next month.
Okay. Are you here? Is that Mary?
That was Mary, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you want to walk us through that?
No, I said you'll have them next month. So I can walk you through that next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just had preliminary, we didn't go them all through the board yet, so we're gonna have them all next, July, August, and preliminary
Okay.
numbers next month.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going on.
That's okay.
All right, then I think, then what we do have is the treasurer's report. So we have the pre-audit report for the last fiscal year, and we have July and August reports for this year. So, Kelly, you want to walk us through those? Sure. No. Or point anything out? You don't have to walk us through what to just point out anything you want to point out.
Let's see. Well, usually July and August are typically pretty slow for revenue side anyway, and I think that's been the case other than Heidi's amazing tax collections. But state revenue is always slow to come in. So interest is still doing well. We'll see what happens after tomorrow. Shouldn't go down too much, but let's see. Not much happening in the July and August. What I did want to point out was after we had met going through the new budget book, if you notice in the July and August reports, we have removed the 2 line items for prior year encumbrances that get spent in the current year. So in the June pre-audit, we kept it the same that had been all year. I didn't want to alter it for the last one of the fiscal year. So you'll see on page 2 where it's listed as accounts payable fiscal 23-24 under both Board of Ed and Town Government. We also, conferred with Mary. She's on board as well, so the Board of Education side. So you'll see come June of 26, the encumbrances that happen for fiscal 26 will be added to the expenses. I'll still separate them, but you'll see it's just a little different layout. But that's why you're not seeing those in fiscal 25-26 reports right now. And then we're going to have a revenue item that will show unexpended encumbrances from the prior year. So you'll see what wasn't spent in fiscal 20, the fiscal 25 ones, it'll be added as a revenue item. So just a little bit of a change in the treasurer's report. It's just going to align better with CSA and with the budget book. So, but other than that, nothing of note.
Okay. Guess this will be more of a assessor or tax collector's question, but do we have any sense of the new development and like what's happening in terms of sewer revenue and stripping of occupancy and everything there? And I apologize, it may not be anybody's expertise on in the rain.
Yes, I am not aware of that. Jeff, sorry.
Are they
I
issuing
can't-
COs over there? So they are going on the tax roll?
Not yet. Usually it's the end of September, beginning of October. I haven't seen any yet.
Really?
Yeah, but that would actually roll into the new forecast format.
Yeah.
If you want me to show that?
Okay.
Yes, no?
Yeah, and we'll act on the treasurer, then, yeah, I mean, that's the financial report, so. The questions for,
Really?
and, anything you want to say about the PR report? I don't think we really accept that till it's final.
Right? You can.
Right.
I'll just point out the financial model that I sent out the other day reflects the PR report that we got, so it's all updated now. All right, so is there a motion to approve the July and August treasurer's report as submitted?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstentions? Okay, yeah, basically, want to show us,
Well, since the last couple of meetings, we've been getting a lot of questions as a result of, have we seen the COs? What are the effects on tax revenues? And since we do have a new year of what we can do for general government forecasting, I figured we could include revenues in it if you guys want to see it. And the reason for that not only is for interest, in case that goes up or down, but more importantly, the tax revenues. So I'm going to sit with Heidi, because what we're going to do is take a look at her actual levy and then do a percentage based off, so we can forecast out what the tax revenue is going to be, which is a direct result of whatever COs we get. So the forecast would include all revenues, including the current year taxes, and you'd be able to see that growth. And this way we can monitor the COs that come through with it and any other increases and or decreases that may come up in any subsequent years. Town clerk, I keep flat, and then we'd roll into your normal expenditure line. My Zoom feature here. But then I also include, we've got forecasts, I've got 25 actuals and 26 budget with the variance in dollars and variance in percentages. So I know you guys liked the previous format, and so I just didn't know if you wanted to, or me to include revenues, as well as I put all the expenses in alphabetical order instead of numbers in the CSA software.
If you have the information, it'd be smart to put it in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly gives us something to work with going into the next budget year, to start thinking about,
It also gives you a highlight if for some reason we don't get a state revenue for some reason. They pull a
Right.
grant from, because federal funding got cut, Kelly will know about it. and-
Kelly usually tells us.
But I mean, we can see the impact of it
No,
too.
absolutely, yeah.
Because this has the total budget, and then I've got down at the bottom how much is used from fund balance. It puts everything all together. We're so siloed right now. We've got the Board of Ed, we've got general government, and I'm trying to bring everything all together because it's all taxpayer dollars, no matter what department or silo it falls into. So I'm trying to, step by step, piece by piece, get us in one place.
Yeah, I love this. I mean, I think what we do today for revenues is read them off, like we read them off the treasury report every month, right? And particularly when we're getting to budget time, like Mike was alluding to, we're looking at things like, interest, how's this year's interest rate compared to last year's, building permits, it helps us make assumptions as early in the budget process as possible. And then we look at them at least up until the public hearing, so.
Yeah, this way you're going to start seeing it on a monthly basis versus once a year analytics that you're trying to review what revenues you want for the following year.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the revenues we see are a little bit off, like our, like pistol permits. Like some will probably won't, you can show them how you want here, but, some will roll up just because.
Yeah, they're minimal, but if they're on the treasurer's report, I put it on there anyway, because I match year over
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Cool.
So if that's what you guys would like to see, I can move forward with this format versus the old. Or I could do the old. It's whatever you would like to see.
Any opinions? I mean, I like this, but anybody else have an opinion?
I like it. I like it.
That looks good.
All right, let's try it.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
A little bit of work in the summertime.
No, just a little.
Just a little
Nights,
bit.
weekends. Appreciate everything.
Okay. Did you have an actual forecast? I was looking back for the format of a forecast or a report, kind of just how we're doing, or no?
I did send it in this work. It's pretty much, I had it flat to budget for right now.
Okay.
I just had it flat. I mean, it's too early. I've got a couple things, but ebbs and flows. July and August, it's just too early to really gauge much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So there's nothing to vote on there. Okay, I guess we're up to public comment again. Is there any public comment?
There's none online.
Is there any? All right, that brings us to, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
A second? All right. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. See you,
Good night.
in October.